my name is Chris Woods. I'm a partner with Plaid. Plaid is an organizational training and development firm that seeks to design thought-provoking and stimulating learning experiences for a variety of different audiences. My role within Plaid outside of business development is actual program development and facilitation, while I also oversee our client success and ensure that our educational programs are being implemented effectively with our partners. In terms of what we were looking for with lead generation and outbound calls, we were really looking for a partner that understood exactly kind of how we wanted to go about reaching certain goals that we had. We were looking for a partner that kind of had a good, clean process for making sure that when they communicated with other people, that they sounded like our company. It felt like it was coming from our organization, not from a third party. And so that was something that we were really interested in terms of who we were wanting to contact and some of the challenges that we were facing. We've been working with Superhuman now for over 4 years in a variety of capacities. And primarily, they've been supporting us with providing outbound calls to individuals that we believe are good partners for our organization. These are the stakeholders that we know primarily work with training and development within their organizations and could use additional support when it comes to designing curriculum, designing programs, and going through that instructional design process to ensuring that their members or their employees have the training they need to be successful. So Superhuman has been really helpful for us in guiding us throughout the process of developing a script to making sure that we are providing them with the right type of contact information so that when they have the tools in front of them to be successful, they are scheduling calls for our team. So they're booking meetings on our calendar so that we are having direct communication with the potential client, and we're able to coordinate the demos directly with them. And so it's been a seamless process of the caller reaching out, scheduling the meeting, using my calendar to book that, and then going through the confirmation process to ensure that that lead is reminded that they have a meeting with me and that we're excited about that meeting. And so it gives that reinforcement to ensure that we have more validity and that we have more return on that investment, if you will, for that call. I think there's a significant value add to having those confirmation calls just to make sure that that person that hasn't had a conflict come up and they haven't had a chance to reach out to us to reschedule. Those confirmation calls allow the recipient to confirm and ask any initial questions if they have them potentially, but ultimately to put front of mind that they're having a call with our team and that we're excited to speak with them, I think has been a big value add. In terms of experience and benefits and milestones that we've hit with Superhuman, we've had the benefit of seeing the proof in the pudding when you actually make those phone calls and people receive the information that they need. That has turned into new sales, that has turned into new clients and new partners. Everybody likes to feel appreciated. Everybody likes to feel valued. When you get that phone call, oftentimes it demonstrates a level of interest that you don't get from an email or a text message or another form of digital communication. When you actually are able to speak to a live human being, it shows that you are willing to go the extra step to develop a relationship with them. And I think that has been a big part of why we've seen success, is because the people that we are targeting are folks that are looking for not just a quick solution, they're looking for a collaborative partner in building educational programs. And so Superhuman has done a good job of transcending our motivations into the conversations that they've had when they're booking meetings. I would recommend Superhuman services for a variety of reasons. One, if you're looking for the opportunity to get in contact with individuals that aren't just finding your website or aren't just Googling your services, this is the opportunity to be proactive in going out there and meeting your potential clients where they're at, rather than hoping they find you in all the noise and distraction that exists in our daily lives. Superhuman gives you the opportunity to meet them exactly where they're at. And so that's one of the ways I would recommend Superhuman. If you are interested in actually going out there and having a voice to your company, Superhuman can be that voice for you to just start things off on the right foot. When we've experienced curveballs or challenges, they have primarily been in pulling together the right contact information for a variety of people that we have worked with, but also the type of language that we're positioning to them when that we actually get somebody on the phone and we want to talk to them about our company and schedule that meeting. Superhuman has been helpful in providing us with feedback on what's working and what's not working. And so their callers are providing insight that says, hey, I modified the way I said this one thing and I'm getting more return. I'm getting more results. I'm getting more people saying yes to having a demo with you. And so that's the type of feedback that's been really helpful in overcoming some of the challenges that we have faced just in the learning curve. But I think a lot of it goes back to Superhuman being intentional about staying in communication with us about what they're hearing from the callers that they're talking to. And then their platform provides a lot of transparency that helps us kind of understand what the conversations were, what were some of the highlights that their caller had with the recipient. It gives us more insight when we actually have that demo. Honestly, my favorite feature is probably your core offering, and that is the fact that somebody else is making that phone call and booking it directly on my calendar. And so that's the core thing, but that's what they do really well is they have the call, they talk to that person, and they're good at ultimately not being pushy, but being persuasive and ensuring that they book the call and they confirm that they book the call. So they can't just say, oh, sure, I'll meet with Chris on Wednesday. They actually send the calendar invitation while they're on the phone, and then they wait till that person receives it to ensure they got the invitation. And so there's those levels of validity and double checking that also are a big value add. I think for us, we are most happy when we see a calendar that's completely filled with demos because Superhuman has done their job. There are ebbs and flows where people are busy and it's holiday seasons, and so we don't have as many calls, but when we do, we see these big waves of a sudden we have all these calls. And I love it when my sales team says, oh my gosh, I don't even have a moment to breathe because I've got so many demos. That's exactly what I'm looking for. And Superhuman has helped provide that for us. Making sure you're providing them with good contact lists is probably the best way to ensure success with Superhuman. And whether that be working with them to generate those contact lists or you doing them yourselves, not just doing a scatter plot of, hey, here are potential contacts that we might actually doing the work to identify who the right person is at that company or institution will provide you more success down the road.